All right, so move on to the next segment. I'll be sharing my WWE 2025 year award. So, honestly, the WWE was not really a outstanding year in 2025. It wasn't good, it wasn't bad. It was like in between. And the WWE could have capitalized on the momentum they had from 2023 and 24, throwing it in 2025, but it just didn't work out. And every year is not going to be a good year in a company. It's just not. But there were some good spots and some memorable moments in 2025 that will make my year awards for 2025. So, storyline of the year. Storyline of the year, the last time is now. I do believe that John Cena's retirement tour was the best storyline in 2025 in the WWE. Now, again, that goes to my point. Booking wasn't really the best in 2025. But I do believe that this Cena retirement tour did keep fans invested and engaged in the WWE product for 12 months. Fans of this era and fans of old wanted to see what would be John Cena's next move. Now, honestly, the retirement tour could have been booked much better with possibly more appearances, more TV matches, swapping around opponents. We get guys of the future like Braun Breaker, Carmelo Hayes, possibly Drew McIntyre in the mix, with Cena feuding with some old guys of his past like possibly Seth Rollins or Roman Reigns one more time. But overall, I do believe that the Cena farewell tour was the best overall storyline that 2025 had to offer. I mean, we've seen a lot of good things out of this. We did see John Cena become a 17-time world champion, breaking the all-time record that the Nature Boy Ric Flair had. We've seen John Cena turn heel one more time in his career. Now, to my knowledge, I want to say the last time John Cena was a heel, prior to this heel turn, had to be late 2020, 2003, early 2004. We got John Cena becoming a Grand Slam champion, finally winning the illustrious Intercontinental Championship, defeating Dominic Mysterio. John Cena, as a main event star, never really got the opportunity to challenge for the Intercontinental Championship or go after that title. So it was nice to see John Cena become a Grand Slam champion. And he had some unforgettable matches down the stretch in his retirement tour. Let's not forget about that great WWE title match. We've seen Super Cena versus Super Cody Rhodes at SummerSlam for the WWE title. The Clash in Paris match against Logan Paul, whether you guys like or hate Logan Paul, that is a really good match in my opinion. We got John Cena versus AJ Styles at Crown Jewel. And John Cena's final match of his WWE career against Gunther, that was an absolute banger and still proved that Cena has some left in the gas tank. Some honorable mentions too we got to be grateful for. He did get to face Randy Orton one more time. He did get to face CM Punk one more time. So we did get a lot of bright spots in John Cena's retirement tour, and that's the reason why I do believe this was the best storyline of 2025. Oh, rivalry of the year. Rivalry of the year, I'm going to go with Seth Rollins and CM Punk. I do believe that Seth Rollins and CM Punk, that was the rivalry of the year in the WWE. Now, we probably would have seen this rivalry finally put to bed if Seth Rollins never got injured in the back end of 2025 and had to vacate the World Heavyweight Championship. But all year long, Seth Rollins and CM Punk had some great moments. You go back to the January 6th Raw match where they had the main event match on the main event of Netflix and their debut on Raw. You could go back to that March match that Seth Rollins and CM Punk had against each other, that steel cage match in Madison Square Garden. You could go back to the triple threat match that we've seen at WrestleMania between Seth Rollins, CM Punk, and Roman Reigns in the main event of Night 1 of WrestleMania 41, with Seth Rollins snatching away Paul Heyman away from both CM Punk and Roman Reigns. And you also had the swerve of the year with Seth Rollins faking the injury, cashing in the Money in the Bank contract on CM Punk, ending his World Heavyweight Championship title reign that only lasted 5 minutes. So I think everything that happened, you have to say that that was the rivalry of the year this year between Seth Rollins and CM Punk. Which brings me to heel turn of the year. Heel turn of the year would have to be Paul Heyman's double cross that he had at WrestleMania 41 Night 1. Now, Paul Heyman was in the corner of CM Punk, his best friend. And Paul Heyman, before he even costed Roman Reigns the match, he costed CM Punk the match, low-blowing CM Punk, swerving back over to help his tribal chief, Roman Reigns, then hit the low blow on Roman Reigns, turned his back on his tribal chief, and then aligned himself with Seth Rollins. So if you think about it, that was a perfect heel turn. And 5, 10 years from now, that's some rich history because Paul Heyman helped CM Punk have one of the longest WWE title runs of this modern era, and then just helped Roman Reigns have one of the longest WWE undisputed title runs of all time. So that was crazy to see that Paul Heyman turned his back on both CM Punk and Roman Reigns, and then he aligned himself with Seth Rollins. I think that was heel turn of the year. Breakout star of the year. We're going to go breakout star of the year. I'm going to give that to Stephanie Valkyrie. Now, Stephanie Valkyrie had a huge 2025, guys. I mean, she became a double champion, holding both the NXT Championship and the NXT Women's North American Championship in 2025 on NXT. Then moved up to the main roster months later and quickly became a mega star on the main roster on Monday Night Raw. Within 2 to 4 months with her being on the main roster, she defeated Io Sky to win the vacant Women's World Championship. I think she's the future of this division, and I think she's going to have a long run in this women's division as a top main event star. But Stephanie Valkyrie has definitely earned it for the 2025 that she's had in the women's division. Most improved wrestler this year, we'll go with Maxine Dupree. I think Maxine Dupree, if I told you guys in the calendar year 2025, Maxine Dupree would have she would have the year that she had in 2025 and viewed as a top tier talent in a women's roster, viewed with so many top tier names and top tier main event stars, you wouldn't have believed me. And in ring wise, I think Maxine Dupree has shown that she belongs. She's improved so much, defeated Becky Lynch 3 times in 2025 to be the women's Intercontinental Champion. And there's a short lineage of women's Intercontinental Champions right now, a short list: Lyra Valkyria and Becky Lynch. And Maxine Dupree is the only other woman a part of that short lineage. So she has to be proud of everything she accomplished in 2025. I think she's the most improved wrestler this year. Let's go to Women's Wrestler of the Year. Women's Wrestler of the Year, I'm going to go with Io Sky. I think Io Sky had a huge year in 2025, and she should be viewed as Women's Wrestler of the Year. She defeated Rhea Ripley on an episode of Raw, shockingly on the road to WrestleMania, to win the Women's World Championship. She never looked back since, and she had one hell of a year. She defeated Bianca Belair and Rhea Ripley in the opener of WrestleMania 41 in that triple threat match. I think that's one of the best triple threat matches of all time. And she retained the Women's World title. She also had that stellar match against Rhea Ripley for the Women's World title at Evolution before Naomi spoiled the party and cashed in the Women's Money in the Bank contract. But that's still viewed as one of the best matches this year. And Io Sky had that great match against Stephanie Valkyrie at WrestlePalooza for the vacant Women's World Championship. So whether Io Sky has been in the women's main event scene or mixing it up in the tag team scene right now with Rhea Ripley and have some good matches in the women's tag team division, I think she's always been a bright spot, and I don't think there's any other woman that deserves to be named Women's Wrestler of the Year in the WWE other than Io Sky. She had a stellar year in 2025. Ooh. Male Wrestler of the Year, John Cena. Now, you can honestly go in several different directions of who you want to claim was the 2025 Male Wrestler of the Year. You could go with Cody Rhodes. You could go with the Ring General Gunther. You go with Dominic Mysterio. But I think John Cena was the best wrestler of 2025. In-ring wise, John Cena proved he still has it. He still proved why he's one of the best in-ring performers of all time. And proved to everybody he still has a lot left in the gas tank. I think that's a great way to go out. Whatever your profession is, to go out on top and still prove why you still got it, rather than letting the WWE retire you, like we've seen unfortunately for several wrestlers in the past. But John Cena overall all year long had good performances. You look at the Royal Rumble, he had a good Royal Rumble performance. He had a good Elimination Chamber performance. Backlash with Randy Orton one more time for the WWE Championship. Night of Champions WWE Championship match with CM Punk. SummerSlam match against Cody Rhodes, one of the best matches of the year. A Clash in Paris match with Logan Paul. Crown Jewel match with AJ Styles. And a great ending to his career against Gunther. And you could also throw in those 2 Intercontinental Championship matches that he had with Dominic Mysterio on Raw in Boston, Massachusetts, in his hometown, and the Survivor Series match. So John Cena had a lot of stellar performances and a lot of stellar matches, and I think you would have to claim him as the WWE 2025 Males Wrestler of the Year. And to close out, match of the year. Match of the year, I'm going to go with the triple threat match that I just mentioned a few moments ago. Io Sky versus Bianca Belair versus Rhea Ripley. Night 1 opener of WrestleMania 41 Night 2. Now, I think Io Sky versus Bianca Belair versus Rhea Ripley was the best match of the year when they fought for the Women's World Championship. The best match of 2025. Now, I still believe this was one of the best triple threat matches that I've ever seen. And the story was perfect heading in the match. Bianca Belair and Rhea Ripley just worrying about the two of each other, and they forgot about the Women's World Champion Io Sky. And the story was the two established stars fighting over the World Championship, with Io Sky being treated as the underdog as the Women's World Champion. So all three women hit it out of the park when they got to that night 2 opener of WrestleMania 41. There was a lot of good spots, a lot of near falls, a lot of drama. Bianca Belair and Rhea Ripley hitting a lot of power spots, with Io Sky's high risk, fast paced wrestling style. Like the three of them just have outstanding chemistry with each other in the ring. And then the insane spots to close out the end of the match. The sequences were great, with Bianca Belair hitting the 450 splash on Io Sky. Then Rhea Ripley's near fall that she had on Bianca Belair, where she hit the Riptide. Then Bianca Belair whipping Rhea Ripley with her hair braid, hitting the EST on Rhea Ripley, only for Io Sky to come out of the sky and hit the picture-perfect moonsault on both women, with Io Sky pinning Bianca Belair to retain her Women's World Championship. I think that was the best match of the year. But again, those are my 2025 yearly awards for the calendar year 2025.